Now, the other thing that I take that I think keeps my, I think, at least let's say the evidence points to, I have
Hmm.
to speak like a Harvard professor sometimes, is that by activating these other enzymes that are the second component out of those three, the sirtuins I work on,
Hmm.
you can activate those by doing the kind of things I do in my life, but I can also take a supplement which raises NAD, capital NAD.
Hmm.
And people are taking IVs of NAD supplements. It's a big thing. It was discovered in my lab, in part, what, about 2002
Mm.
when I was a kid. But it's now a big thing. And the reason that NAD is popular is that it activates these sirtuins, and we have
Yes.
7 of those in the body. We talked about this last time.
Hmm.
The 7 sirtuins are the protectors of the body. There are 3 of them that protect the DNA, and the clock slows down,
Hmm.
we think. And then some of them are in mitochondria. There's 3 there, and then there's one that floats around in between in the water that's in between all of that, and that's number 2.
Hmm.
Now, SIRT2 controls hormone production,
Hmm.
and if you give it to cells, they'll make more androgens.
Hmm.
And one possibility is the reason my testosterone is doing pretty well is I've got super high NAD levels because I've been supplementing for about 7 years now with NMN, which is a precursor to NAD.
Stay there. Okay, I want to go there. So that was the next thing on my list was NAD. So of the people that I know that look freakishly and unusually young for their age that I have met in, say, the last 36 months, I cannot get over how many of them have told me that I'm on NAD and I'm on metformin. And I'm talking about everywhere from a gym to a golf course to a business meeting. And I'm talking about visually, shockingly looking young people, mainly people in their 50s that look like they could be in their 30s or early 40s to me. So when you say NAD, do you believe in the IV therapy? Do you believe in the stuff you can inject with subcutaneously, or are you speaking specifically about this precursor that you were referencing?
Well, what I believe doesn't so much matter, but the scientific evidence points to taking a supplement every day, a gram of NMN, which is this precursor, stands for nicotinamide mononucleotide for the
Mm-hmm.
aficionados. Just swallowing one of those, or 1,000 milligrams, is enough to double your NAD levels in the bloodstream,
Mm.
and triple it if you take 2 grams. Now, I'm 52, so if I'm an average human, I would have half the levels of this NAD molecule than a 20-year-old.
Mm.
So doubling it is the goal for me. So I've been taking a gram of NMN, swallowing it every day for the last whatever it is, dozen years,
Mm.
7 years at least. Then the question is, what about the NAD IVs? There's very little data on that.
Yeah.
I would say that I have tried it.
Mm-hmm.
I've found that it felt fine,
Yeah,
especially afterwards. During it, have you tried it? It's
I have.
got a little cramping in the tummy
It
area.
does. Yes. And I found that on the IV, and also I've taken it sub Q, and I get a real burning, uncomfortable sensation in my stomach. It's ironic that you say that.
Yeah.
It's exactly my experience. Yeah.
So there's some evidence that it's good for treating addiction, but really no solid scientific evidence that it helps in other ways yet. But
Okay.
that doesn't mean it doesn't help. It just
Mhm.
means
It
that
hasn't been studied enough.
doctors haven't done enough placebo controls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to give people a placebo, especially if they're paying for it.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say the jury's still out, but the science, I think, is there that it should activate the sirtuins, kick them into action, and at least for those few hours that you're getting it, and it'll go up probably double, triple the levels in your bloodstream. It'll help, but I don't know long term.
I'm so fascinated by this stuff, as everybody can tell. So you're getting stuff here you don't get most other places, you guys. So these are just things to think about. These aren't necessarily recommendations. Things to think about. Then there's metformin, and so just I must say this to you. You and I met. This is a passion of mine. I've also had a not great genetic hand. By the way, guys, there's all kinds of stuff we could talk about on genetics today that you can get studied right now to see if you're predisposed to heart disease or different cancers. You can even find out if it came from your mother or your father's side. There's all kinds of things you could figure out right now. My genetic hand is crap. It's just mom and dad's side, both not good, and both cancers and heart disease. So when I met David originally, this conversation really mattered to me. And so I did start on metformin. This is just me personally. I'm telling everybody my own medical stuff. I did start on the precursor for NAD, and I've tried the IV stuff and I've tried the sub-Q stuff myself. So metformin helps with glucose in the body somehow, the metabolism of glucose, correct? So
Right.
why does that, why do you think metformin works, and do you feel real strong like you did last time that you were here about it?
Yeah, I feel